Being on hold is long. Yes! Where's that P. Diddy clip? I'm a savage! I'm a savage! Okay, I'll do that. And what was your name, sorry?
Sorry, we have a no-name policy.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. I was on hold too long. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, firstly, good on you for being able to set up a business.
It's cold calling day and I don't want to do it. So I need to gas myself up to get myself in the right frame of mind before I start making these calls. So the first thing I'm going to do is go for a run, get my endorphins pumping, boost my mood, just to get rid of some of that anxiety that I'll be getting when I'm making these phone calls. Let's go. Feeling pumped, time to make these calls. Let's go, let's go. I can't lie, I'm procrastinating like a mofo. I need to make some breakfast anyway, so I'm gonna make some breakfast and then I'm gonna get to my desk and start planning. So while I have my breakfast, I'm just gonna watch some videos on cold calling just to get some extra tips, advice. YouTube has everything. There are lots of creators who will just give a little bit of advice. And I hope that you get some tips and advice from this video because I'm gonna be dropping some gems. You're gonna see firsthand what works and what doesn't work for me. Every industry is different, every style is different. It's all about trial and error with cold calling. There's no 100% formula. It's all about trying, see what works, and then adjusting and trying again. Now for the loyal subs on this channel, you know that I've grown my business, or the start of my business, I was helped by an organization to help me get up and running. Now I've gone on that organization's website and I found all of the companies that donate to that organization. The same organization that's helped me. So I'm gonna use this to my advantage when I contact these companies. I'm gonna say, hi, it's Tyler from Love and Life. You sponsor this company. I've benefited from your sponsorship and I'd love to give back to you. Now, what I'm actually offering is a free webinar. And the purpose of the free webinar is to get companies to experience and see my wellbeing sessions because I believe in my service, I believe in me. And I believe that when companies experience my session, they then want it for their employees. So all I'm trying to do is just get them on to this webinar. That's the aim. Get them on this webinar, get their email, because when they sign up, I have their contact information. But the main purpose, the main goal is to get them on this webinar. It's time for me to get on the phone. I've collated my list. Now, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit anxious. I haven't cold called in maybe like a year, maybe even longer actually, if I'm really being honest. But before I do it, I'm actually gonna say some positive affirmations. Now, I know for some people this is a little bit cringy, but I'm gonna say it just to gas myself up, get myself pumped up. And I'm gonna do a little bit of movement, getting my blood flowing, just to pump myself up. Every little bit helps. Anything I can do to put me in the best frame of mind when I'm making these calls. These calls are going to be fantastic. People are going to be polite. People are going to be happy. Nobody is going to be rude. And even if they are, it doesn't matter. Just get on with it and move on. Let's go. I just need to get the first one out the way and then I'll be fine. Just type the number in and dial. What's the worst that can happen, right?
Good morning, oh, sorry. That's Dana. How may I help you?
Hi, did you say Danya speaking?
Sorry?
Sorry, did you say your name at the end there? I misheard you. Your name is what, sorry?
Dana.
Dana.
Yes.
Hi, Dana. Sorry.
Hello.
Hi. I'm calling as a beneficiary of the, I understand that are patrons and supporters of, I don't know if you personally are familiar with that.
No.
No, okay.
I mean, the thing is, you're calling on the reception on the ground floor.
We're a small business and we just want to give back, essentially. And we've got a free webinar on improving physical well-being in 2 weeks. And I'd just like to invite someone along from the organization. And what was your name, sorry?
It's Sarah.
Sarah, thank you so much for your time, Sarah. I will email Kim today.
Brilliant, thanking you.
Thanks, bye.
Cheers, bye.
Well, I don't know how you feel about this, but that's the sort of story that we would like to be able to tell. And if we could do that in a way that gives you some promotion as well. We've got 50,000 social media followers or something like that we could do something there. I'm sure we'd be delighted to be able to come up with something mutually.
I'd love that, James. I'd absolutely love that. That would be great. I mean, you know, I guess it helps us everyone, right?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you ping me through an email,
Yeah.
you got my email address?
No, I don't.
Cool, well thanks for your call, because most people who phone these days, because we use Teams all the time, are trying to sell me something. So
Yeah.
maybe you'll do that another time, but thank you for the call.
No, thanks a lot, James. Yes! Where's that P. Diddy clip? I'm a savage! I'm a savage!
My MTV out. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! What's next?
Did you hear how sick that call was? Did you hear how sick that call was? Did you hear how sick that call was? Listen, he was so responsive. That was absolutely great. And he said, you're the kind of story that we want to promote on our social media. So there's other potential, other than them signing up to the webinar, there's other potential for other things. So I'm gassed. I'm actually gassed. Yeah, I'm gassed. And I want to big up you, my loyal subs, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have done this challenge. I'm doing this challenge for you, my loyal subs, for the YouTube gang, and I've just got some really positive feedback. Now, it's not finalized, because what someone says isn't necessarily what they do. Actions speak louder than words, and we'll wait to see what happens as a result of it. But yeah, I'm gonna stop at 10. I've made 10 calls now. I'm gonna email the people that I've contacted and then have some lunch and then go again. And one of the things that he said was, when people call, they're trying to sell me something. People hate to be sold to. I hate it. When people call me, they're trying to sell me something. No, people don't like that. So offering something for free, once you're offered them for free, you're in the door. You now have that connection. You can sell to them later. But when you try and sell straight away, it's so hard to convert. You know, it's so hard. Offer something valuable, offer something for free, something that they value, then sell to them later.
Can see if I can transfer the line. Is there anyone in particular you would like to speak to from?
If you could put me through to, that would be great, if possible, or anyone else within the HR team. I'm just getting some water, but I wanted to highlight the quick thinking that I had on one of those calls, because it's important. The lady on the phone, she wouldn't transfer me through. She said, no, she can't transfer me through. She needs a name. I didn't have a name. I have no idea who the HR person is in her company. So what did I do? Went on LinkedIn while I was on the phone very quickly and just typed in her company name and typed HR. The person's name came up. There was someone in their company. I'm gonna use the name Charlotte. Charlotte came up. I said, oh, it's Charlotte. Surname, can I speak to Charlotte? She said, oh yes, okay. Do you want her email as well? Yes, of course, I would love her email. So she gave me her email and transferred me through. Now, of course, Charlotte didn't answer. I went straight to voicemail, but that's not the point. The point is I could have just said, oh, okay, I don't have a name, sorry, bye. But I quickly went onto LinkedIn and searched for someone in their HR department to be transferred through. So don't just take no when it comes to cold calling. If they say no, you know, sorry, I can't transfer you through without a name. Okay, find a name, get a name, and do that. LinkedIn's a great platform to find employee names. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. So I'm gonna do one more call, and then I'm actually gonna get on with some work that I need to get on with. I've actually still got work to do other than these calls. And actually, hopefully tonight, I'm gonna be able to have a meeting with a friend of mine who works in sales. Let's hope that he comes through. Let's hope we can get that recorded and sorted. But yeah, as you can see from behind me, I've got the spreadsheet up there, color coordinated and all that jazz. But yeah, one more call, and then we're calling it a day on the calls, not on work, because we always working, baby. So Sachin's kindly agreed to talk to me about cold calling. Sachin's a cold calling expert, worked in sales for the last, I don't want to misquote, but 10 years plus. Sachin, if you wouldn't mind, just tell me about your job role.
I'm Sachin. At the minute, I run a sales floor where we outbound and take inbound leads. We have roughly about 70 staff, both going from lead gen to actual closes as well. And I just manage that sales floor.
So I've been cold calling, as you know, as part of my cold calling challenge, calling 50 companies. You've given me advice in the past, and I've been using some of the techniques and methods that you've spoken about. But what pieces of advice would you give to anyone wanting to cold call?
Firstly, it's really simple. So I've done door to door, I've done face to face, and now I've done over the phone sales. So you were right in quoting. It has been over 10 years. The simple bits of advice I'd give anyone that's trying to be successful in cold calling is to not overcomplicate it. You've got one thing mainly that you need to control, which is your tone, because your customers can't see you, can't feel you. All they can do is hear the words that come out of your mouth. So knowing that, tone is probably the most important part of cold calling.
Okay, so really working on the way you're saying things and not just what you're saying.
Yeah, so ultimately we've got a saying that, I mean, it's broader than what we run on our sales floor, but it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And that comes to life on my sales floor, because the customers don't have time to gauge who you are, how of a nice person you are. It's what you're saying to them, which is receiving the buying for them to want to engage with a conversation or continue with the conversation.
And what type of tone would you advise someone like me to express on the call? Should I be excited? Should I be happy?
Usually we say it's upbeat and dynamic. You've got 5 seconds for the customer to like you. You've got 5 seconds for the customer to want to engage into a conversation and listen to. When you're cold calling, you also have to understand not just your tone, you also have to understand the type of business you're calling. Were they waiting for your call? Was there an appointment made? And if none of this has actually happened, then your 5 seconds into that call has to be upbeat, dynamic, and almost straight to the point where the customer knows or is engaged to whatever it is you're about to sell them.
Okay. And yesterday I didn't make a single call. I wasn't motivated enough. I couldn't encourage myself to make the calls. I was a bit anxious, and I decided, actually, I'm just not going to call today. How can we get in the right frame of mind to make these calls?
So if sales is predominantly your income, then you got to eat. And that's the bottom line, right? So you know by giving up, you're not going to eat. So ultimately, giving up is probably the last thing you need to do when it comes to outbound dialing. I mean, I always like to tell my guys, you got to look at the whole call, and you got to catch the small wins. So how far did you get into the call? Are you getting stopped at the same point every time? Are you getting further into the call? Are you building rapport with your customers? Does that customer like you? Have you set a call back with a customer? Is the customer just really busy? Did the customer engage with you and is really interested but run out of time? All of those factors can come into play, and you not get a sell. When you actually look at the body of it, in theory, you've actually got some wins there. You've gone from cold calling to customers putting the phone down on you and not wanting to speak to you, to now having a decent conversation where you're building rapport. You're getting to the quote stage where you're offering your service to them. They're liking you, they're understanding the business model that you're proposing to them, and they're interested, but they've run out of time. These are all wins that you have to take on. You get a no, that means you're one step closer to a yes. It doesn't matter. The no's are what you learn from. The yeses is what you get paid on.
So really just try and take your wins throughout the call. So a sale is the ultimate win, but I guess along the journey and along the call process, you can still take wins in other areas.
Yeah, and also if you get a customer that just says yes, yes, yes to you, you're not improving. You get better from the no's. You get stronger from the no's. I think embracing the no is crucial in being successful in over the phone sales anyway.
Wicked. I mean, that's been some great advice. Thank you so much for your time, as always, and we'll catch up soon.
Cool. All right, take care, mate.
So you heard it there from my man Sachin. Embrace the no. Take the small wins wherever you can along the journey. It's all part of the game. It's all learning. So yeah, big up to Sachin. And if you want to big up Sachin, just write it in the comments, man. Just say big up Sachin in the comments down below. I've got 2 more calls to make, and then I've got to send these emails. I've got 7 emails so far to email, which is fantastic. I had a really nice call with the previous company that I just spoken to. 2 calls to go. 2 calls to go, and then I'll hit my 50 companies called. I've called 50 companies. Challenge finished. Yeah. So what are the key takeaways from this challenge? Be brave, learn from and embrace the no's. Be able to offer something of value to the company you're calling. People hate to be sold to. And it's a numbers game. The more calls you make, the more likely you are to make a sale. Now I'm gonna be doing a follow-up video with the results from this cold calling challenge, so look out for that. But when it's ready, I'll link it here. But in the meantime, check out this video here. And remember, support the ting. Peace and love.